On behalf of all assembled here today, I should now like to invite our newest alumnus, Dr. John Alper, to address Convocation.
Morning, everyone. Thank you, Chancellor. Thank you very much, Kim Baines. And thank you, Mr. President. Graduates, families and friends of graduates, Chancellor Jack Cowan, President and Vice Chancellor Emmett Chekma, deans, faculty, students, administrators, support staff, ladies and gentlemen. I was thrilled when earlier this year, President Chekma informed me that the Senate of Western University decided to confer an honorary doctorate degree on me at today's graduation ceremonies, involving students from the Faculty of Science, the Schulich School of Medicine and Dentistry, as well as those from the School of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, hosted by the noted school and faculty. I was especially pleased to receive this recognition, knowing the reputation of Western University as one of Canada's premier educational and research institutions. The university has achieved international recognition, international levels of excellence in a number of fields of endeavor, with the faculties celebrating this morning's convocation being role models in this context. There are two personal reasons why accepting this honorary degree is very meaningful to me. One is my family. My wife and I are so fortunate to have fraternal twin daughters, and we are proud that one of our daughters, Ruth, is a graduate of this university, Western, and delighted that she is with us at Convocation today. And we're also very happy that her sister, Lara, and their mother, Anne, are attending this memorable event. The second reason I accept this degree is in honor of Joe Rotman, who was the previous Chancellor of Western University and a dear friend of ours, my wife and I. Joe died in January 2015, was a Canadian treasure who, amongst many innovative accomplishments, was an enthusiastic champion of Western University and philosophy, the Rotman Institute of Philosophy, as well as in other fields of endeavor. He made a difference to Western and to all Canadians. May his memory be a blessing. Before I address my fellow graduates, I'd like to suggest that as I'm standing, that they stand and applaud the parents, the relatives and friends who are in the audience, and those not here, for all the contributions they made for you to reach today. If you could stand and applaud them. Thank you very, very much. Fellow graduates, what I want to talk about and recommend is that you be mindful of 4 principles as you go forward in your lives. First, create opportunities for success. Whether your career aspirations are to work in industry, academia, government, or should you establish a new company or an innovation, Do so by seizing opportunities. Do not wait for opportunities to come your way. Complacency must not be part of your value system. For example, the smartphone BlackBerry was invented by Mike Lazaridis, who was then a student, university student. Mike and his Greek parents immigrated to Canada from Istanbul, Turkey, when he was 4 years old. With his invention, he created the company, established company Research in Motion, and later changed the name to BlackBerry. Some 6 to 7 years after the commercialization of the BlackBerry, and that was a trailblazing technology at that time, the company was no longer aggressively pursuing new directions, next generation products and technology, but rather concentrated on incremental change. They became complacent and were overtaken by Apple's iPhone as well as technologies developed by others. Despite still having the best security system in the world, in the smartphone, it has been challenging for BlackBerry to retain itself in a high position in a very competitive market. Let us hope they can flourish again. They recently benefited by being awarded some $800 million in a court case involving Qualcomm. And this settlement affords them breathing space for new opportunities and new directions to niche markets. Second, exercise the highest level of integrity in everything you do. Being truthful and honest in all your personal, family, and business relationships is essential to assuring a successful and satisfying career. Do not be swayed by those who plagiarize, make excessive claims, or engage in fraudulent behavior. Yes, some may get away with such unacceptable practices, but reality is that the law catches up with most such people, whether quickly or after 10 to 20 years or so. But never mind whether the law catches you. Integrity begins in your backbone. If you are crooked, how do you live with yourself? Moreover, those who contravene basic integrity principles are often treated as pariahs in their communities. For example, the individuals responsible for the tainted milk scandal in China some 7 to 8 years ago. And I'm mentioning this because the former Minister of Health for China, Chen Zhu, and I were co-chairs of the Global Network Science Academies, and not a member of the Communist Party. He had a very open perspective on many things, and this troubled him enormously. This tainted milk scandal led to deaths of many infants in China. And as a consequence of adding cheap, toxic, poisonous chemicals to milk, just to reduce costs and make a little more money. The individuals were caught, arrested, and given severe sentences for unethical business activities. Instilling integrity values does not begin at university. It starts with you as a child. It is essential that parents or surrogates in early childhood development at home and teachers in primary and secondary schools reinforce integrity on an ongoing basis. Integrity, adhering to consistently high moral and ethical standards, is the foundation for a lifelong value system. Third point, volunteerism. Engage in volunteer activities to make a difference to others, whether being a caregiver, educator, mentor, working with the underprivileged, or in other roles. As Prime Minister Trudeau said during National Volunteer Week, which began April 23rd, volunteering encourages us to celebrate the many acts of generosity that Canadians carry out each day. And further, he remarked, Canada's communities are stronger and more inclusive thanks to the efforts and dedication of our volunteers. Those are excellent points. Personally, for the last 2.5 or so years, I have been spending 3 to 4 weeks spearheading, as was mentioned by Professor Baines, the bold initiative by the Governor-General of Canada to markedly enhance Canada's performance in competing successfully for major international awards prizes. We have been underperforming for 60 years. And so changing the culture of institutions, universities, and also business and government, making our citizens more comfortable with nominating their best people for international awards prizes, not just Nobel Prizes and others, is so important. And so we have made significant progress in the last several years, thanks to contributions from people at many universities across the country and elsewhere. This has been a, frankly, very significant challenge, harder than serving as chair of the Science, Technology, Innovation Council, but incredibly fulfilling because you see the change and the progress, a genuine labor of love. And I do this strictly as a volunteer. So that fulfillment and gratification is worth every hour and day of work in this regard. So you invest what you can, time-wise and otherwise, as a volunteer at different stages of your career. But I want to emphasize how great an experience it can be for each one of you in whatever area, whether you're taking care of a relative or something like this. Last, aspire to leadership with courage. Aspire to leadership in whatever you choose to do. Choose what is best and right for you. Leaders lead people into the future. The future is that which we do not know. Leaders have the courage and the vision to craft a course of action and get it right. Getting it right will enable you to create opportunities, to go down new paths, and to potentially transform organizations or institutions, impacting society as a whole. So attaining such objectives demands leadership, responsible risk-taking, and courage. Having the courage of your convictions empowers you to succeed in life. I encourage you to be a leader in your area or field of endeavor. In doing so, do not fear failure, as it nurtures creativity and increases the prospects for future success. So in conclusion, graduates, by creating opportunities, volunteering to benefit others, exercising leadership, and being courageous, all with integrity as your signature, you will be best positioned to have a satisfying life and career. You will make a difference to your family, to your friends, to your nation. I wish you much happiness and success in your future endeavors. Thank you very much.